Like for example, I'm gonna make a comparison here to Cowboys and Aliens, which is a fucking fantastic film.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is. You're wrong. You're both wrong. It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
Aliens is so bad.
It's a great movie, and you're both wrong. It's a great movie, and you're both wrong.
This is not a touchstone. John, you cannot start an argument kind of for just like Cowboys and Aliens.
No, hey.
You can't be like, oh, it's just like the seminal classic Cowboys
Oh man,
versus
I
Aliens.
am totally gonna make you guys
Scorsese's
watch that in the
finest
future
picture.
because it's so good.
Oh, that's such a horrible movie. I watched that movie when I was 8, and I went, Mommy, can I not watch this movie? Is that possible?
And more than that, Preston, it is such a good example of a movie that's not as Western as it could be.
Welcome. It's that time again, folks. Time for the world-famous motion picture Retribution Power Hour, presented to you by the illustrious Evening Brothers. Take it away, band.
Welcome back to the Motion Picture Retribution Power Hour, the
really
only
hard.
show on the internet where we watch bad movies and talk about them. It's the only one. I checked today. We are the only one. The only movie podcast, in fact.
This is the only movie podcast in existence. So glad that we can provide this desperately needed service to people who just don't hear enough about pop culture and movies in their daily lives.
Wait, guys, I just got...
I am
Brother
Lincoln.
Brother Lincoln, hold on. I gotta make sure this is true. Hold on. We're the only people left on the planet.
Oh, hold on. Wait 1 second. I just gotta do a little fact checking of my own.
Okay.
I've confirmed we are the only people left on the planet.
Fuck you. That was my whole bit. That was my whole joking bit you did, and then you just took it and did it again. You can't...
Yeah, I like
wait,
it so much.
I'm flag on the
so
play,
nice, we did it
motherfucker.
twice.
You can't... No, you can't just... You have to add onto the bit. You can't just be like, I liked that bit. That's my bit now.
Yeah, but this keyboard sounds a lot nicer than yours. Listen to the clickiness.
Well, I can't hear the clickiness
Lincoln.
because we're doing a video call, and it thinks it's a fart, I'm pretty sure.
Lincoln, we literally cannot hear your keyboard clicks at all.
Oh, well, I can, and it sounds fantastic.
I can't wait to mute that
Okay.
in the edit. So what did you make us watch, Preston?
I made you guys watch. Well, I didn't really make you watch. It was more a request that I think you both honored to watch Cowboys and Aliens.
Yeah, this whole podcast, I guess we're not made. You don't hold a gun to our heads and shoot us if we don't watch
No.
a freaking underworld. This is we decide to enter into this world.
Real question then, who is holding the gun to my head? Because if it's not you guys, I'm not sure what I did.
Yeah,
You know,
Did you wait 1 second? Hold up. Did you promise? Did you promise that shadow man in that dark alley who could only speak in screams that you were going to watch every bad movie ever made?
Well, yeah, I assumed you guys did too. That's how we started this podcast, right?
No.
Also, he has a name, and it's Ted, the Dark One. Okay, so let's don't besmirch the name.
Good name of Ted the Soul Eater. I'm so sorry.
Ted,
sorry.
Ted the Nightwalking Soul Eater,
Who apparently loves bad movies.
who's just super wicked into like Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage is a very underrepresented demographic in our film viewing
This
so
is
far.
true. Have we watched
Yeah.
a single Nicolas Cage movie yet?
I don't think we
I
have.
don't think so.
Guys, we might
I think
need
we're
to fix
cage free.
that.
Cage-free eggs, all three of us.
we're just 3 cage-free eggs cracking about.
What if
Cracking about
we
making this
did?
dumb show.
What if we did like a super episode where we watched a bunch of like Nick Cage movies and then did
God,
like 30-second
I would
bits
kinda love
about
that.
each of them?
Okay, Preston, tell us about Cowboys and Aliens.
Well,
And
this
before you
is-
do that, did you guys know that he's going to be in like a Spider-Man noir show for Amazon? I just feel like I have a history of telling you guys news on this podcast, and I feel like this is one you probably didn't know.
No, I didn't. I'm actually kind of excited about that.
I feel like I
Yeah,
did
me
know
too.
about
It's
this
live
one
action.
actually. I'm a
It's
little
live
bit
action?
stoked.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, I hope it's good. I hope
Yeah.
it's good. I wish it the best. Amazon does not have a good track record. They have not earned my trust very much, but
Amazon's doing good work. What are you talking about? The Boys, Reacher, probably something else, Invincible.
Rings of Power, not very good.
Fallout, pretty good.
And also the whole workers rights violations and
Hey, I
monopolization.
stand with Jeff
Lincoln,
Bezos.
Lincoln, we're
as
not
long as he
talking
gives me
about
money.
we're not talking about Mr. Bezos here.
Oh,
This
sorry.
episode is sponsored by Jeffy B. Not the company, just him. He likes it so much.
Personally. He's like, I finally feel at home among all these other white boys.
Guys, we're gonna. This podcast is so bad that mentioning Jeff Bezos sponsoring us is gonna get us sued for defamation.
That's true, maybe.
And it's gonna be all of a $5 settlement for the 3 people that listen that we have defamed Jeff Bezos to.
Are you talking about it's a class action settlement? We have to pay $5 to everybody.
No, it's $5 to pay. It's symbolic. So in this movie, we have both Cowboys and Aliens.
What a transition.
Guys, I just want to say real quick, this movie is directed by Jon Favreau,
Okay.
which was not
Yeah.
a
We need
fact
to
that I
address-
knew until starting the movie this time. And I don't know what to do with that. I just...
Right.
I think
Anyways.
we need to
Yeah.
address the elephant in the room and address the fact that Daniel Craig, Harrison Ford, Olivia Wilde, Jon Favreau, and Ron fucking Howard all got together and created the most mediocre movie you have ever heard of in your life.
The blandest bowl of oats you done
You
ever
know-
ate.
This, you know what? I thank you, because when I first proposed this movie, I said that hey, this was a great movie and that I loved it.
Yes, you did. You said it was a great movie.
I believe, and I'll play the clip again right here because you know I did at the beginning. I'll play it again right here. I believe you said an excellent fucking film.
Cowboys and Aliens, which is a fucking fantastic film. It's something like that.
Which-
and I went into it this time fully believing that it would either confirm that this is in fact an amazing movie that I love, or that it's a terrible movie that I remember being really good and it's really not, and being really disappointed in myself. And I'm coming away
yet-
just that this is just a very mediocre movie.
Yeah.
It's just kind
It's
of a
a movie-
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole time you're watching it, you're just like, when am I going to care? I spent the whole movie wondering when the movie was going to start. It's like, when's the plot
Yeah.
going to start kicking in?
Can I interest you guys in a theory of mine that hit me about halfway through? I feel
Yeah.
like there's a history of us doing a small little difference to a movie and a thing that would make it so much better. And I think I found this movie's the thing we needed. I think
yeah.
that it needs to lean into aliens as a stereotype, as a iconography. Because the problem with this, the thing that would make this movie so much better is if instead of their weird Avengers Chitauri army, if they had just little green men in flying saucers versus cowboys. I feel like that would have been so much more interesting and just engaging to look at.
Well, I think Preston, I remember you mentioning that this movie was a Western that was actually believed in itself as a Western, and watching it, you couldn't be more wrong. It doesn't believe in itself as a Western at all.
I don't
It does for 20
I don't
minutes.
remember saying that, but I couldn't agree more.
But yeah, you're right, John. The genre conflict of the aliens being stereotypical aliens and the cowboys being stereotypical cowboys is interesting, and I think there is a narrow path that they could have played it straight, and it would have been fun and engaging. But the movie is so not interested in being a Western, and it's so not interested in being a movie about aliens in terms of what aliens actually do in fiction.
Yeah, it really is. It might as well be the Tomorrow War prequel. That's what this feels like.
It's
I feel
very
like it should be
generic action movie in which cowboys just happen to be fighting aliens, and it does nothing interesting with
Well, and I
either of
feel
the
like
two genres that it's trying to combine.
the cowboys
there's no
not knowing what aliens are and having to not being able to call them, to refer to them as anything except demons or just those weird guys, it just kind of robs the movie of any potential they could have had planning and trying to understand these other creatures, which
Yeah.
there might be a comparison to the movie Nope here, because Nope is a very cowboys and aliens movie that actually cares about the idea of the cowboy, and it also cares about the idea of aliens as a fiction.
Quite deeply.
And the way though that movie functions is that it's all built on trying to understand how the aliens think and work and move. Whereas this movie doesn't care about that at all. The aliens are just
No.
the thing. And it also plays off as this weird. The movie's called Cowboys and Aliens, playing off the Cowboys and Indians trope idea, and it really plays off the aliens as a proxy for, the evil natives that are stealing your people and taking all of our rightfully earned gold. Is it kind of gets uncomfortable.
Yeah, the look is not fantastic, and I think it would have been helped if they were a little bit more, not cartoonish, but a little bit more classically alien.
Yeah, and not
also
just
like
creepy guys.
How is there not one like good, the bad, and the ugly standoff between an alien and a cowboy? How did we not get to that? How is that not the thing you build this fucking movie around?
That's so disappointing.
How was
Right?
Sam
Like,
Rockwell in this movie? And we haven't even mentioned it yet.
And he's because he forgot he was in it. He forgot
He
to be
forgot
Sam
he was in
Rockwell in it.
Sam Rockwell's in this movie, guys.
I know. I saw his credit, and I was like, "Oh man, the cast is even more stacked." And then
Paul Dano's in this movie.
Forgot about Sam Rockwell until the very end.
Yeah, he's like the cast in this is amazing. We got the Rattler. We have Harrison Ford, the future Red Hulk. We have past Craig, past Bond. We have
One of the bandit guys is definitely an outlaw in at least 2 other westerns.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I don't know his name, but I know who you mean.
I know. I don't know his name either. I was gonna try to figure that out, but I wasn't feeling.
He's got a very outlawish
well, he's got the
personification.
But he's got like
Yeah.
the same beard
Okay,
and like.
for our listening audience, Preston just scowled at the camera with no noise at all.
Preston.
For those of you who haven't seen the movie, it's the guy in The Magnificent Seven, the new worse one, that goes, "Well, how'd he die?"
He's only in new, worse versions of old movies. He's
we
probably
haven't
in
even,
Guardians
we
of
haven't
the
even
Galaxy
gotten
or
into the
something.
movie yet. Daniel Craig, Mr. Bond himself, wakes up in the middle of the desert, not remembering who he is, with a weird metal bracelet on his arm. That looks like alien technology.
To us, to him, it looks like nothing.
Right.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, weird. I'm going to try to take it off.
Here, let me smash it with a rock on my knee, because that seems like a really good idea.
The thing that fucks me up about this movie is that they are cowboys, like primitive compared to our, like current technological understanding. And they meet aliens that if we today, the three of us, the three brothers, the evening boys, if we saw these aliens, we would flip the fuck out because none of it makes sense and we don't understand how any of it works. And it would just be just a constant nightmare. And they're just like, they see this and they go, huh, that sucks.
Wow.
Well, anyway, I'm going to try to shoot it more and again.
There's not even a one incarnation. They just, these are the beams of light from which they harvest their molten gold directly from the Earth's core. Wacky, wild.
I do
What a weird
like
thing.
that at the end, Ella, our female protagonist, tells
know her
Bond
Yeah, me
that
neither. I didn't know
I'll
anyone's
get
name.
the bracelet to the core, and he just like takes it totally in stride, like, oh, the core, of course. I know what that refers to.
It's true. I never even thought about it. The core. He's like,
what's
I've
so-
seen Star Trek Into Darkness. I know where the warp core is.
What's so great about that scene is that she goes, I'm going to take it to the core. And he goes, all right, cool. And he takes it off, this thing that he's been using pretty well as a weapon. And she walks 20 feet away and is just like, all right, here I am at the core.
I know. I do like that she just like strands him in that room when he could have very easily just like she could have taken it from him. He walks out the door and she goes in by herself.
Oh, yeah.
She definitely
They're like
did
guarding
not
their
need to,
six
like-
the whole time. There's not a soul
I
around.
know.
They're just like waiting in this big empty room. And she goes, bye. And he goes, wait, what? And I think his confusion
And then he just takes
was
it
not
totally
love.
in stride and runs off.
Yeah, it was for a second. He's like, oh, I thought you needed my. Oh, well, okay, and then he just leaves.
I know. The movie gives them like one emotional moment where they kiss, and that's supposed to like complete their arc, and it just falls flat on its face.
Need to talk
need to start.
about the concept of this movie. But before we do that, I think one thing we need to do is just acknowledge that there is exactly one good line in this movie, and it's when Harrison Ford finds out that they're trying to get gold, and he goes, that's ridiculous. What are they going to buy something?
That is the good line in this movie.
It's so
What are they gonna
good.
do? Buy something.
And it's like it's the only line in the movie that actually has like an okay delivery to it too.
Yeah,
It really
Harrison
is.
Ford really let me down in this flick. He was really phoning in a performance. Okay, speaking of Harrison
Ford.
Oh, say what you need to say about Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford plays this movie like it's a press screening for his movie. Like it's an interview about his movie.
Yes, he does. Have you ever thought that he is, in fact, the opposite of Jeff Bridges? And he is only cast in roles with no chill at all? His entire filmography is about not having any chill.
Just cannot, end of his rope, done with all this bullshit.
And his last name is Ford, like he ford a river, and then Jeff Bridges is the more easier way to cross the river.
So is Jeff Bridges the anti-Harrison Ford, or is Harrison Ford the anti-Jeff Bridges?
I think Jeff Bridges is the anti-Harrison Ford.
For sure.
Jeff Bridges is like Han Solo's bastard child that grew up even more relaxed.
Don Solo.
Yeah. Don Solo. And his twin brother Ron Solo.
Ron Solo. None of us can think of any other. Oh wait, my name John Solo.
Oh!
That's good every time.
Anyways, there's a dog. There's a little dog in the beginning of this movie.
There's a dog. The dog doesn't die. I thought for sure the dog was gonna die a couple of times.
No, do you find yourselves when you're watching Westerns, do you think about the hydration levels of the characters on screen? I cannot.
All the time.
Every time I see a horse or a dog or even a person, I think, they're probably really thirsty. I wish that they could get water. And I need a scene of them drinking water. Like, I need to see the horse drink water, and then I'll feel better.
I want them to be quenched.
Yeah, I want them to be quenched. And then in this movie, there's a scene where they're flying over a big river, and I'm like, yes, they will not be parched anymore. There's a big river.
Yeah. Get into that water. Get splish splash. This is the first bath you've had in years, probably.
In years. It's going to feel so fucking good.
No, there's a scene where Harrison Ford takes a shower in the rain in that flipped steamship.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah,
true.
there was.
Yeah, and we all jerked it, right, guys? Right, boys?
Yeah, right, Preston? We did. We
No.
all did,
Right,
right?
Preston?
We did not.
Right, for all
Right,
three of us,
Preston?
Preston?
Yeah, all
We
three of
did
us,
not.
not just me and John.
Nope, just you
Yep.
two. Anyways, he wakes up. He ends up in a town where
Wait, you need to give us a tiny bit more context because I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
I don't know what's happening.
we're back to literally the first 10 minutes of the movie because we haven't even
sorry.
gotten that far into this thing yet.
I know we keep
that's
jumping
right.
way
James
forward.
Bond wakes up not remembering anything. He
Isn't it crazy that he went from doing this accent to doing what he does in Knives Out? Like, he could put his Knives Out accent on this movie and it would be really fun. But instead, he's just kind of like, I'm here to kill everybody. Howdy.
Well, and then it gets really strong in just very select moments. And then it
does.
also gets very, East Coast for some reason at some points.
I think that's him hiding his British, which he's not quite good at yet when he made this movie.
Yeah, 2011. There's a moment where he goes, I told you not to call her that. And it's like, I'm walking here. I told you not to
it's
call
so
her that.
bad.
Hey!
And then he goes, drop him. Yeah, that's right. Drop him. And you're just bouncing between longitudes back and forth the whole time.
Anyways, he shows up in town.
He meets a
kicks a
priest.
rich dude or kicks a dude in the nuts that apparently nobody
Oh, yeah.
likes.
Hey, what?
That
And
happens
who is
to
that
be
dude?
the son
The
of
Rattler.
The Rattler himself,
the Rattler himself.
Dano boy.
Colonel Woodrow Dollarhide. Harrison Ford's character.
Can you believe that he's a cattle rancher and his name is Dollar Hyde?
The names in this movie are so bad. Daniel Craig's character is Jake Loggerman.
Yeah, Jake Loggerman. Can you believe that there was someone in the 1800s named Jake? Jake, pull out your old 6-shooter, Jake. Wow, these here aliens are crazy, Jake. It's pretty normal to be a cowboy, though, Jake.
Oh, it's his last name is just I don't know. I hate the names in this movie so much. I don't know why. Anyways,
then what
apparently I'm the
happens?
only one.
No, I just didn't pay attention to them, so I this is all new information. Keep telling me them, because these are all dumb.
No. Those were the main two examples that I had, where every time
Okay.
they say him, Jake, and his last name, which was something along the lines of Loggerman. Anyways, that's not important.
Jake Paul.
Aliens attack
I feel
the
like-
town and kidnap a bunch of people. and then they decide that
Oh
they're
yeah,
going
the
to go
aliens
after
attack
the
the
aliens.
town. They attack
actually, wait.
a guy
I have a thing to
and
say.
some cows.
Oh, John has a thing to say.
Well, I have a. I don't. Well, don't be like that. Don't bring that kind of energy to it.
Guys, everyone stop. John has a thing to say.
Sorry.
Quiet,
Well,
Preston.
no,
What do you
please,
have to say,
never
John?
mind.
Say it.
Oh no, I'm
Say
sorry.
it.
Don't fuck me. Never mind. I was just. All I wanted
No,
to.
John, I
look,
want you to say it.
Yeah, say it to his face.
All I wanted to say was that I like that in this version. Sorry, a really loud car just passed. I like that in. All I wanted to say
What do you want to
was
say,
that
John?
I like in this version. All that I wanted to say, Preston, is that in this version.
Wait, John, hold on real quick.
Hmm?
I'm not sure how Preston's going to take whatever you're about to tell him. He seems really... There's
Okay.
a hostility. I'm
John,
feeling.
can
Why
you
don't
say
you
it?
just tell me first?
John, just say it.
Yeah. No, Preston, I don't actually like what you're bringing to the table.
John.
You're gripping that can pretty
John.
hard.
I see that
say
aluminum
it.
crumbling underneath your fingers.
All I wanted to say, Lincoln, can I tell you? Because it's scary to tell Preston. He's making
Yeah,
the
tell
angry
me.
eyes.
Just tell me. Just tell me.
What like Todd the Dark One made at me. I like that in this version, abduction is just aliens fishing. That makes me happy.
I like how very literally the aliens just shoot a hook at you and grab you and pick you up kind of whimsically into the night.
Yeah, it's fun. It looks fun. Like, I want to do that. That should be a universal ride.
Preston, I'm going to jump ahead for a second. There's a moment where they're on horses and they get attacked by the drone ship things and they get fished, and the girl, Olivia Wilde, gets fished out of off of a horse, not out of a horse.
Out.
And,
She gets fished from inside a horse.
that she had been hiding in like a tauntaun to keep warm for the night. And Harrison Ford was like, he's like, remember? Remember this
not
one?
today. It's and she's just getting pulled out of the horse.
And then Harrison Ford goes, did they smell better on the inside or the outside? Oh shit, I forgot.
like, what?
I forgot what my line was. What's my line?
And she's like,
What was my line? And then
Excuse me, I've
she's
never
out
seen
flying.
your fucking Star Trek movies.
And then Daniel Craig rides a horse alongside a canyon because the alien ship decided to fly into a canyon to be level with the ground, which was a great decision by that alien ship.
I know. I do like that
And then he
every
jumps
other
off.
time
Dynamic
they
purposes.
immediately pull off and go straight up. Because there's
except
nothing
for
they
that
can
time.
do to bring them down unless they're literally right next to the ground, next to the wall of a canyon where somebody could ride a horse alongside.
And yeah,
Do you
and so
think
they
it's
jump
possible that The Rock could Hobbs and Shaw one of these alien ships if he grabbed on real tight and used his big muscles? Preston,
could
I know
Hobbs
that you
and
know
Shaw
this reference. Lincoln, I don't know if
everything.
you've seen Hobbs and Shaw.
on. I think I can guess what you're talking about. Does he like grab a car and get into it while it's moving or something?
No, you are wrong. He grabs a chain that's connected to a car and also connected to a helicopter, and he holds them together.
It's
like
a
the
very
Spider-Man.
like a worse version of Captain America pulling the helicopter back onto the pad.
Oh fuck, that's exactly what it is.
Like a
Anyway,
real
it's a great
bad
movie. You should
knockoff of
totally
that.
watch it. It's like a really,
Captain
really
America
cool
Civil
movie.
War or Hobbs and Shaw?
It was Hobbs and Shaw. No, it's a cool movie. It made me really hard. I liked it so much.
Whoa.
Also, I
anyway.
appreciate that you assume that I've seen that movie, but Lincoln hasn't.
Well, okay. Here. Oh, actually, you know what? Now that you mentioned that, Preston, am I wrong?
You're not wrong. You're 100%
There it
not
is.
wrong. And I don't
Lincoln,
know.
have you,
I don't know how I
have
feel
you
about
partaken?
that.
I have not seen Hobbs and Shaw.
Like Preston, like I wouldn't know what my two closest friends have seen and not seen when it comes to the Fast and fucking Furious franchise.
As if we wouldn't announce it to the group chat every time one of us watches any of the Fast and Furious movies in order to be celebrated by everyone else. Anyways, yes, The Rock definitely could Hobbs and Shaw one of these planes. But my point was, it seems like the planes are flying really fast, but in reality, they only are flying like 25 miles an hour because they can only go as fast as a horse.
I was gonna say they're flying horse speed.
They're
The
flying
speed of a
horse
but
speed.
it's exactly 1 horsepower. That
one
super cool
one
shit.
horsepower through the air. And so it just kind of lowers the stakes a lot when you think, oh, they're going like 20 miles an hour. Like I could outrun them in my Honda Accord.
Okay, but your Honda Accord isn't in the Wild West, is it, Lincoln?
It is in what was once the Wild West.
Lincoln, this is not The Fast and the Furious and Aliens. This is Cowboys and Aliens.
The Fast and the Furious and the Cowboys and the Aliens.
God damn, would I watch that movie? Holy
I would watch it so
shit,
good.
though.
I would watch the shit out of that movie.
I would watch it. I would watch a Fast and Furious prequel set in the West,
Yeah, that'd be fun.
where they're stealing.
That's Mad Max, though, kind of, right?
No, and
Whatever's the old-timey
I've already got
equivalent
it.
of
I've already
DVDs,
got
wax
it.
cylinders.
Dom and the gang go
Preston's got
back
it.
in time to stop the aliens in the past, so that they don't steal their whole family in the future.
Oh,
Boom.
it's so good.
yeah.
Dom,
Done.
classic hijinks. Dom, Marty McFly, the new Doctor Who, all of them to come together, and they get in
Ant-Man.
a cool DeLorean that's
And
been
the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp and Deadpool and Wolverine, and they get together.
And Cowboys and
with-
Aliens.
and the Cowboys and the Aliens.
The Last Night.
You guys aren't gonna fucking believe this, but I actually genuinely I will read it word for word. I have a note that says Cowboys and Aliens and Ant-Man and the Wasp and Wolverine versus Scott Pilgrim versus the World versus Evil versus Cowboys and Aliens.
If only the movie were that wild. But this movie is
I know,
not. It is so boring.
I think that's the thing we're fighting, and poor Preston keeps trying, but like, what is there to grasp onto in terms of this movie? They get took, they go get them, big fight, end of movie.
Yeah, there's
Kind of a
really
shitty
nothing
movie.
to. There's some bullshit that happens in between. They send like 8 people to place like 2 bags of dynamite.
Yeah, they do
Yeah,
send
which
a
is a
lot of
lot.
people to climb
Like,
up that.
And I do like that, like, it looked like there's a shot of all of them climbing up there, and then 2 of them sit on the ledge, and then they all, like, climb down again. So I think half of them just sort of climbed halfway up,
Yeah, what?
and then climbed right back down.
Why were they climbing?
So
Is that Preston?
you
Actually,
probably
wait.
would understand.
Oh!
It's a climbable surface.
Corner.
It's Preston's climbing corner.
Preston's climbing corner.
Preston's climbing corner. Preston's climbing corner.
Preston's climbing
We're trying so hard.
corner.
We got it. We have to we're trying to make this episode entertaining, but it's so
Brother
hard.
Preston, my boy, my beautiful boy. How is the climbing in this movie? Is it good? Would you do that? Would you send a squadron of like 8 people in case you fall so that they can catch you on the way down? Like a Rube Goldberg
you would
machine
send,
of
like,
death?
1 person. It's also, like, a stealth mission, so why would you send 8 people rather than 1 for a stealthy mission? And one of them totally fucks it up with the matches, too.
That's launched us into our second sub podcast, Preston's Climbing Corner. Preston's secret special climbing corner, where it's a dark mission and we do dark stuff.
Yeah.
AKA,
how would you have
we got
organized
him,
this
boys.
stealth mission?
How's the climbing in this one?
Pretend like the.
Yeah.
No, that's
Sure.
Sure.
It's fine.
Okay. Yeah,
What is
hey,
what is
actually,
the bit?
yeah, Preston-
What's the Preston climbing corner bit?
The Preston's climbing stealth climbing corner of stealth is where you tell us how you would orchestrate this mission if it were you.
I would have sent like 1 or maybe 2 people, and it would have worked out the same.
With just heaps of
Then
matches
what?
in their mouths. Just
Yep, precisely.
Just a bunch of matches.
Yeah.
Hey, what if the one guy's there and he drops all of the matches like they did in the movie?
Well, good thing that guy was also smoking a cigarette to be able to light the dynamite.
Also, it's not very
I did
safe
think
to
about
climb
that.
with a lit cigarette in your mouth.
Especially
Well,
around dynamite,
and your lungs.
Yeah, and dynamite. Yeah, John, there's a more pressing concern with lit cigarettes. I'm thinking more of like you slip and then choke on it mid-climb.
I'm thinking, what if the cancer hits you real good and hard, right in the middle
Right
of the
then
climb?
and there. Should have listened
Cancer-
to the Surgeon General.
the big
Not
C's
like
just
this.
been waiting for you to roll that next sweet hoagie.
Yeah, okay, maybe lung cancer is a bigger significant threat than choking on a cigarette while trying to climb up an alien spacecraft. It definitely kills more people a year. So that
I would
makes
say,
sense.
yeah. Per capita, it's rough.
Aren't you glad? Under Joe Biden's presidency, the number of people who have died by choking on a lit cigarette while climbing up an alien spacecraft has dwindled to almost 0.
That motherfucker brought it down to the single digits. That's
Say
amazing.
what you will
Donald,
about his policies.
Hey, we all love Donald and all his good work and everything he does for sure. But the one thing that the one point I have against the T-Man is that he had a whole bunch of people dying on his watch by just chewing on a
Choking on,
cigarette
like,
while they're
cigarettes.
climbing an alien spaceship. That was like most of the deaths that he had under his presidency.
Yeah, not to mention, the whole global pandemic thing, but mostly I'm thinking about the choking on a lit cigarette while you're climbing up a...
Which was caused, as we all know, by all the cigarette butts under the alien machines, and they got real mad and they sent a pandemic out. Classic
Yep,
Trump
exactly.
again.
Yeah. He is so irresponsible with his treatment of the alien machines. Anyways, enough politics. Let's get back to what we're good at.
Enough of our real
The
opinions.
Cowboys
Let's
and Aliens.
Vote, guys. If you live in America, you might be able to vote.
Oh, I thought you were saying that we had a vote to do here.
No, you just...
Actually, yeah, you know what? No,
Voting in general.
this is good. Who are you guys voting for? That'll be a good way to turn this.
podcast around.
I'm voting for the
I
aliens
really-
personally.
I would vote.
I
I would
think
not vote for
I
these
think I-
aliens. I would not have a hard time voting for a alien. I will say that.
Yeah, which one? John.
Paul.
If you had to vote
from
for
the
a
movie-
fictional alien,
Paul from the movie Paul. I feel like he's got some ideas. He's got some thoughts.
what about Optimus Prime? I'd vote for Optimus Prime.
Holy shit. I didn't know. I thought we were going for like just classic only alien. If we're talking like anything from outer space, then I would vote for Optimus Prime's a good option. Thor would be pretty good.
Ultron,
And no.
Loki.
Not that one. Yeah.
How about the Joker? What about the Joker? Would you vote for the Joker?
Ooh, I would vote for Joker 2 Fully Ado. Hey guys, can we talk about Joker 2 Fully Ado for a second?
I haven't seen it.
Is
but
that
I've
how
heard
it's
so much
supposed to be
about it.
pronounced?
I don't know, man.
Wait, Preston. No more. Stop the podcast. Preston, pronounce it how you think it's supposed to be pronounced right now.
Folia.
Yep, before you heard what I said.
Yeah, that's what John said.
No, he said folia dough.
It's fully a do. Yeah, he's a
Dude,
dick.
I took fucking French, my man.
Yeah, his last name is Bonjour.
My last
Asshole.
name is a French word. You piece of dumb doogie dog shit. Anyway,
Okay, is there a sense of freedom being able to just cast the movie aside and just joke around with your friends for a while?
let's talk about the Joker. I want to talk about the Joker. Fully I do. That's what
Okay.
I want to talk about.
The folia
Tell
dough?
us
Did you-
everything you want to say about
I want
it.
to.
Fully
I have
do.
3 things that I want to say. I'm setting a limit of 3 things that I want to tell you. Oh, actually, this isn't Find Your Funny, but it is a game. I'm going to give you 2 truths and a lie about Joker Fully Ado. How much do you guys know
Dear
about this
truths
movie?
and a lie. John, it's dear truths and a lie.
Truths. Fully Dear Truths and a Lie. The segment before we get to Find Your Funny. So how much do you boys know about this particular flick?
I
Almost
know,
nothing.
I know a few people's
Okay.
reactions to it. I don't know. I know it's half courtroom drama. I know it's a musical, but it's a bad musical. That's about
Okay,
it.
all right. Okay. 2 truths and a lie. Are you ready? 2 truths
Okay.
and a lie, excuse me.
Yes,
Number 1, just off the cuff. Number 1, you get to watch Joker jizz. You get to watch him come. You get to watch him come in the movie.
Yeah, I don't like
just
that.
on screen. Yeah, you don't see the cum, but you get to watch it. Number 2. Number 2. Joker, Arthur Fleck, he carves the smile, the big death, the crazy like Heath Ledger-y smile into his face right at the end of the movie after being stabbed. That's how the movie ends, is he finally ascends to Joker status. And number 3, Joker gets gang raped in prison. Which do you think is the lie, and which do you think is true?
I think I know a little bit too much about this movie because I'm pretty sure that number 2 is the lie.
Okay. Preston, keeping in mind that if that is true, then Joker got gang busted in a prison in this movie by Todd Phillips.
Do you think Zack Snyder is so mad if that's true.
I
that Joker got to
think-
it before Batman did.
Zack Snyder wanted Jared Leto to be in that movie, in that scene, for sure. That's what I think.
I'll go with number 2.
Yeah, okay. Well, you're both right. It is correct. However, it's not that far because Joker gets stabbed and he dies. And spoilers for Joker 2, fully I do, in case you were the one of the millions of people that didn't go out and catch that flick. Joker, after prison guards rape him and rape the Joker out of him, he decides, you know what, I don't want to be Joker anymore, and so he gets stabbed in prison, and then somebody else is the Joker, and the whole movie is just a fuck you to everybody. You guys should see Joker 2 fully I do. It's a really good time. I actually think it's really misunderstood. It's really deep and smart.
I was about to say,
It's
really
really
selling
smart
this
like
movie
me.
for me.
Because it's literally
Yeah.
me.
You guys got to see that. Yeah. Because we do live in a society. That's the one thing that it taught me. I learned that from Joker 2 fully I do. What movie do you want to talk about for 30 seconds, Lincoln? Do you have one?
I want to talk about... What do I want to talk
Dune?
about? I want to talk about that every single movie, apparently, in the Criterion Collection is the most, like, heinous, R-rated, like, borderline pornography you've ever heard of and you've ever seen in your life. Because I'm at Barnes & Noble on a weekly basis looking for cursed DVDs and CDs to buy. And whenever I see anything in the Criterion Collection, it starts out, you read the description on the back of the box, and it starts out like, Mark and Samantha are leading a normal life until one of them trips over a stick and gets a bloody nose. Then they're sucked into the deep sexual world of blood fetishists who love to see blood come out of people's noses in this thrilling, erotic, dark fantasy directed by Paul Joseph Walker.
Hey, Lincoln, did you happen to pick up a copy of Crash? Is that what got you to this point?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was one, Gavin. But it's also every other movie on the shelf too.
No, it's true though. Yeah, it's like for every Fantastic Mr. Fox, there's like a Virgin Suicides.
And just to be clear, I picked up the copy of Crash and then I put it back down because I was like, I don't want to watch this movie.
Because you already have it, yeah, in 3 formats, for sure.
Okay, John, I feel a little weird that you just clocked Crash so easily from what I tried to say.
Look, man, so do I. I haven't even seen it. I just know what it's about.
Well, I also thought it was going to be the Sandra Bullock movie Crash about racism. And I wanted to...
Well, hey, look, it could be about racism. We don't know. We haven't seen it.
No,
Maybe
it's true,
we have
we
to
haven't.
watch it for this podcast.
Yeah. I really don't want to.
I also don't want to. That would be such a different... That is one angle of punishing
Of
each other with
badness.
movies that we haven't really considered, is just like really pushing some boundaries.
No, we're
let's just
pretty
not.
PG-13. We're R for language kind of podcast.
yeah, we're R for language and some heightened violence.
Okay, Preston, what do you want to
Preston,
talk about for 30 seconds?
You got a 30-second slot. What do you want?
Oh, man.
You want to talk about the Venom 3 marketing? I'll talk about that for days.
Why? What's going to happen in this movie? What is
What?
Venom 3? What could Venom 3 possibly be about?
I have some good news I could tell you tonight. I will be able to let you know in a
great.
series of hours.
I am so like what is this movie? What could this movie possibly be offering after all of its marketing that's been done?
It's a valid question because this is I just for those who don't even see Venom 3, I'm pretty sure. I do feel like it's good. If you didn't like Venom 1 and 2, you're probably not going to like 3, but for anybody interested, if you have probably a minute and a half to spare in your life, look up just some Venom 3 marketing, and not trailers, but like, I'm trying to remember what it was that I sent you boys.
You sent us the recording studio one where Venom comes up
Yes.
with a freestyle rap and he's sponsored by Monster Energy.
With Busta Rhymes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's nothing. And it's a
And the
nothing.
one with Megan Thee
nothing.
Stallion?
It doesn't tell you. And Megan Thee Stallion, both of which tell you. Oh, and there's another one where he's on Hot Ones, the Wang eating show. But it's
The
like
Wang
none of
eating show?
these things. The Wang.
I think you mean the winging eating show.
Oh, sorry. That might be my other Venom, the fan fiction I'm writing. None of these. There's
it's also called Hot Ones.
Tells you. Hotter ones. Those three pieces of media tell you nothing about A, the movie, B, the character Venom, and C, whatever it is that they're promoting. It's just content. It's so wild.
It's just content. Yeah, Venom 3's marketing is very wild, and I hope it's a wild movie. I really, really, really hope it is.
I hope so too.
Okay, Preston,
if it's not,
your
we
turn.
always have Craven.
I keep passing by at the same Barnes and Noble right across from the Criterion Collection is the regular Blu-rays for normal humans, and
For not sickos.
yeah, and Madam Web, I keep seeing it, and it's like $24.99, and part of me's like, I do not want to spend $25 on Madam Web, but part of me's like, wouldn't it be so funny to have spent $25 on Madam Web?
If you're gonna do that, you might as well get the Steelbook version.
My sweet missing link, as a person who has spent $25 on Madam Web, it does not get worse. It's so, the feeling stays with you. It lingers. It's worth it. You have to get it. Every once in a while, I just look at my Madam Web copy and I think, yeah, I did spend real human money on that.
It's a level of badness that I feel like ought to be preserved. It's like, I want to be someone who has one of these. I want to show this to my grandchildren.
In 100 years, in 30 years when I'm still alive, I want to be able to say, you deleted
No, don't
it
sell
from
yourself
your
short.
servers.
You're going to live 100 years. Come on.
Sony, you deleted it from your servers, but you can't delete it from me, okay? You can't get rid of my copy of Madam Web. It's impossible.
It's impossible. Okay, that actually
Guys,
is encouraging. I might go buy it.
Preston, do you have something you want to talk about? Because if not, we can...
I don't. Like I said, I just
Okay,
had
that's
the
fine.
realization that this is a profoundly mediocre movie, and that there's very, very little to say about it.
Okay, I'll give it. Here's the things that I liked about it. 1, I liked when the riverboat was upside down in the middle of a giant desert. I thought that was kind of scary.
Pretty good.
I liked that the aliens have an extra set of creepy groping hands that they can pull out of their chests at any time. It's kind of funny. It's like a funny play on the alien and Alien having an extra mouth. The aliens and these have extra little gross creepy hands. And that's it. Those are the only things I like about this movie.
I like that Paul Dano is in it, and I like that it ended. I like that it's not a forever movie.
I like that Paul Dano's in it. I don't like Paul Dano in it.
No. Make no mistake. I have no interest in watching this version of Paul Dano. I do like that he's in a movie, Cowboys and Aliens. I would like... You know what I do like? I like that... I like a couple of shots. There's a couple of moments that I was able to kind of put it through a mental filter where the alien ship was a flying saucer, and it looked pretty cool when I did that. So that was cool. This is a good movie.
No, John. It is a fucking fantastic movie.
Okay.
It is. Yeah, you're right. Fucking fantastic.
Preston, could you walk us through? You talked a little bit about how you thought that it would either be so bad that you would kind of come to us with your tail between your legs, or it'd be so good that you'd feel super vindicated.
Yep.
We've all had movies that one of us liked more, and we've had movies that one of us hated more than everyone else. You've walked away from this feeling the most ambivalent, I think, between all of us about this film.
It's rough.
So what was your process of like, what was the process of watching this movie and feeling slowly over the course of the film like this is the most mediocre piece of media I've ever consumed?
Honestly, right at the beginning, is they have within the first 5 minutes, Daniel Craig's character gets attacked by 3 outlaws, and it doesn't change anything. It doesn't affect the story in any way. It just sort of happens, and that was after that I was like, oh, maybe this isn't quite as good as I remember it, but maybe the aliens are good. And then we get to every single fight with the alien, and every time it's just sort of disappointing and not very fun because it's just so mediocre. Yeah. And it doesn't go into the either genre that it's trying. It doesn't the genres don't play well together. They're just sort of there.
Yeah. Have you thought that they actually set up a better Western than the movie became during the beginning? Because the idea of a criminal who doesn't remember who he is, who's kind of defending the innocent in a small town, and then his kind of impulsive actions make him butt heads with the capitalist leader who's more of a gang leader than anything else, and they're going to have a showdown for the fate of this small ghost town. Don't you think that would have been a fun movie?
You know, they kind of do actually.
Yeah, but imagine if that movie had aliens though in it, Lincoln. How cool would that be?
Even
that's what
like
I'm
you
saying.
replace the
That's a
aliens
problem.
with just a rival gang of bad cowboys.
Or you just
Or yes, a rival gang of bad sky cowboys picking up all the boys.
Yes. Time travelers. Time traveling bad
Time
cowboys.
travelers. This
From the
could be a
Cowboyverse.
Terminator movie. That's what I've been trying to say this whole time.
Yeah, Terminator going further back in time. That's an unexplored avenue for Terminator sequels.
Actually, that Terminator in the Wild West would be kind of kick-ass.
Yeah.
I will say we have to
and
be
it's
careful.
like we're going to
though.
destroy John Connor's great-great-great-grandmother.
Yeah. Joan Connor.
Yeah. Terminator in the Wild West. And it should literally
Cool
just
though,
be
huh?
called Terminator in the Wild West.
Well, I think that there's, it would be good? Terminator Sundown. What do you think
Terminator Sundown. Terminator High Noon.
of that? Terminator Hoedown.
Terminator I Hardly Know Her.
I think we've done a lot of really good discussion of this
100
film.
ways
Do
to
you guys-
terminate in the West.
That's good. Yeah, that's really good. Well, and so now we have to find 3 more because you interrupted me. So how about the good, the bad, and the big old metal man?
That's pretty good. 310 to Terminator.
a fistful of Terminators.
A fistful of Terminator. A fistful of metal fist.
A fistful of metal fist. A fistful of gross metal goop from Terminator 2.
Oh, he does. He's a goopy boy. What
He's so
about
cool.
the outlaw Josie Wales? But there's a Terminator in this one.
Yeah, I like long titles for movies.
I do too. I've been thinking about that. I think Venom: The Last Dance isn't long enough. I think it should be Venom: Folie à Deux: The Last Dance, The Trench. Back in the Habit.
The Last Night.
The Last Night. The Green Knight.
The Last Green
Night
Knight
of the
Who
Living
Dances.
Dead. We've done a lot of really good discussion of this film, and I think it's time that we take a little break, don't you? We earned
Yes, I
it.
do. It's time to find our funny, because maybe now this podcast will be good.
Hey, so I didn't prep anything, so it's going to be Muppets Who Would Say Fuck.
Also, we have not been using our nicknames nearly as much as
Here
we
we
could.
go. I used yours. I want to be on record as I used yours.
What
And you
is
haven't
mine?
used mine? The missing leakster, the leak.
Okay, sorry, the deuce. Oh, it's so good.
It's okay.
I gotta
Preston?
keep using it.
Preston, I whole ass don't remember what yours was.
I don't
so
remember
it must
what
not
mine
have been
was
right.
No, must have not. We gotta find. Okay, after Muppets Who Would Say Fuck, we have to come up with a better nickname for Preston.
But here's the
Yeah,
thing,
okay,
right? We
so-
can't keep using these because then every time one of us says the deuce, it's just gonna devolve into, man, the deuce is so good for like 5 minutes.
It's so good though. Is the problem? The thing that we haven't
It
thought
is.
about is that the deuce is so good.
It's way too good.
Yeah, we haven't really explored how good the deuce is as a nickname.
What I'd like to do before we talk about Muppets Who Would Say Fuck is just really let's have a moment of silence for how good the deuce is.
Yeah, let's open up the space for the deuce. Ready? Okay. Preston just took off his hat.
That is the funniest thing you've ever done, I think.
Is that why you wear a hat all the time, just so you could comedically take it off once every decade
Absolutely.
for comedic potential?
I have been waiting for my moment for so long.
It was worth it. So I have here a list of Muppets, some of which I don't know, so I'm not going to say those ones. It's a little bit Sesame Street. It's a little bit Muppets. It's a grand old time. It's just an orgy of weird puppets in this screen.
Oh, guy. Also, I watched Labyrinth for the first time. Speaking of
Oh,
an orgy
alright,
of
you
weird
want-
puppets.
You want to talk about that for a bit?
No, it's just It was spectacular. Okay, keep going.
Was it good? Was it worth it?
It's amazing. It's so good. I loved
Okay.
every second of it.
What'd you like about it?
I like the sheer amount of imagination and visual craft alone. Like, the movie could be silent, and the amount of shots that you see in 2024 and go, how did they do that? Where there's shots that I like backed up and watched again, and I could not figure out how they achieved it. And that's kind of amazing. And the movie is just so joyful and so just brimming with ideas and imagination, even though the writing's pretty bad, and David Bowie's not a great actor in this one. But
I was going to ask how you felt about the old DB.
No, I think he's much better in The Prestige.
Is David Bowie in The Prestige?
Yeah, he's Tesla.
That's amazing. Okay, so Muppets who would say fuck, your options are regularly says fuck, has sworn off saying fuck, but will say it at some point, has not said fuck before but can't. You know what? You guys get it. Would they say fuck, yes or no, right? That's really what we're looking for here.
Uh-huh.
And I do accept some deliberation. We'll go through 5 and see how we feel after that. How's that sound?
Yeah, great.
Big Bird.
No, I don't think he'd say it.
No.
I think he knows it, and he wouldn't say it.
Yep.
He knows it. He's aware of it. He just wouldn't. He wouldn't say
100%.
it. Okay. All right. I agree with that. I'll put that. He can't do it. Some of the classics, but not all of. Oh yeah. Oh, here's one. Oscar the Grouch. I'm gonna get ahead. I know he seems like he would. I don't think he would. I think he would say like cock a lot. I think he would say cuck for sure. I think he would say.
I think he'd say bastard.
I think he would say everything. He would say dick. He would say shit. He would say ass. He would say damn. He wouldn't say the C word because he's a respectable gentleman. But aside from that, I think the one that he doesn't say is fuck.
I think he would say it once, because hearing Oscar Grouch say "you fucking piece of shit" would be so funny.
I do like that. Preston, what do you think?
I no notes, 100%. I would love to hear him say that.
Well, yeah, okay. It's not Sesame Street characters and Muppets we would like to hear say fuck, because that's all of them. That's why that movie got made, whatever it was called. Something
Avenue Q?
Something with maybe.
That's a musical where they say bad words.
No,
and they're puppets.
I don't think it's that. I'm thinking of the one. Well, now we're on a journey.
Puppet fuck.
Hang on.
That's what you're talking about.
What?
Oh, of course, puppet fuck.
Puppet fuck.
Yes, subtitle: puppets who say fuck.
Puppet fuck. Yeah, it's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Melissa McCarthy one. McCarthy.
You are on your own.
Movie where puppets say fuck. I am thinking of the Happy Time Murders. That actually might be a movie we do at some point. It's just hitting me now. Anyway, Kermit D. Frog. What do you think about him? Old Kermie.
I think it is like how in whatever movie The Rock is in, where he can't use a gun because he would be too powerful, and he picks up a gun at the end and it just starts wrecking everything. I think Kermit knows it, and he has to constantly hold himself back because of the amazing power that he would impart onto the world if he dared say it.
Yeah, I think he would show an incredible amount of restraint.
I think he's constantly struggling to not say it, and I think he is so strong and so determined and so well controlled as a man. He doesn't.
He is so whole spiritually.
Yeah.
So, and Ernie would say fuck, right? For sure.
He'd say it with reckless abandon.
Yeah, that's like his whole thing. Cool. My last one that I'm interested in, Count. I don't think Count knows. I don't think he knows about
He
it.
doesn't
know. Wouldn't say it.
He maybe knows. He knows like a Transylvanian word that's maybe much more disrespectful.
It's much worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like mad racist.
And he uses that one quite often, but he does.
Oh, he
not
loved
use
that one. Oh, he's so into that one. Yeah, Count.
Yeah, don't get him started talking about the Slavs, you know?
So there you go. I guess we never really lost our funny this episode, did we?
No, we
just
didn't.
needed a little.
We just needed a break from talking about this.
Some other notes. I'm I'm just gonna run through my notes and say what speaks to me, and then Lincoln, you can do the same. And Preston, you can pretend like
Preston,
you took notes.
Preston, I want to talk to you for a second. Right near the end of the podcast, every time we finish the Find You Funny, John says, I'm going to run through my notes, and then he proceeds to list. He proceeds to be like a dad who's recounting a journey that his family just took on a big highway, where he just kind of dryly says everything that happens in the movie. And I've never been able to spin it into something funny. So what are we supposed to do?
All right. Well,
that's a good
what
point.
would you guys like to talk about?
I've had the same observation.
Wow.
Yeah, there's really no way to.
Sort of a, you guys ever just like you're in a situation you just don't realize what people think of you, right? Until like you hear it, and then you do hear it, and it's like, oh God, I wish I could really unhear that.
No,
like my
John,
sweet ears
John,
can't.
We would really enjoy. We appreciate you being willing to share your notes with us, and we would like to hear that.
No, it doesn't.
You know what?
No.
I'll just real quick run through my notes, okay? Paul Dano's a gross man. Yeah. Nope is a lot better of a movie. Giant Riverboat is scary. Let's see what else I have.
Okay, we'll see. Lincoln,
good alien design.
Hey, Lincoln.
Never
Lincoln.
mind.
Hey, Leekster. Hey, can you pause for a second? One quick little thing. I read the ones that are funny. I read the ones that made me laugh. I don't just read random nonsense notes, okay? I put a lot of work and time.
Sorry.
I put a lot of work and time into writing these notes. I think of funny things. I run them by my wife. She laughs at me a great deal, with me a great deal, and it's a positive experience that I want to share with my two favorite boys.
Let's hear your amazing notes.
One note about that. Darcy has to laugh about those.
Darcy, I will counter that point by saying we are over a year into marriage, and I can say with a strong guarantee she does not have to laugh at my jokes.
Are you sure?
And it hurts so much more than anyone else not laughing at my jokes. I'll tell you, somebody saying, I will be with you until we die, and then going, that wasn't funny though, is the worst pain a human can feel.
Does it sharpen you though? Does it hone your comedy edge?
Well, you know what's funny is I thought that it did, and then we thought, oh, I'll share that with you boys by reading notes, and then you blasted my ass to space, so maybe not.
John,
yeah, we really Joker fully had to do you.
Can we hear the things that you like? Is this so? I'm assuming that you've got your notes right here, right? You read through them with Darcy.
I have
them,
but now they're my special notes.
Can we hear the ones that you've crossed off?
No, because.
I only want to hear the ones that didn't make the cut.
I'll read you the ones that I got crossed off if I can. Now I don't want to. Now it's not fun. Here's some ones that I crossed off. Mortal paper cut wound. The doctor should be Jeff Bridges. The lack of music in these fights is throwing me off. I'll stand by that.
Actually, whoa, wait, hold on. Actually, that's true. There's no music in the fight.
Yeah, it's like
what's going on?
So we do want to engage with my notes. Then is the thought that we do at some point want to engage with them, just not the ones that are funny and good. Okay.
John, you are in the Bad Movie Podcast. Do you think we're appreciators of good art, or we're appreciators of bad art?
I did write a note that I'm really proud of, and so I'm going to read it to you, and you have to pretend you like it, okay? Because I'm going out on a ledge here. I'm prefacing this.
On a ledge, a little more secure than a limb.
I'm a man on a ledge, like that movie Man on a Ledge. Here's what I wrote. If movie has aliens and cowboys and Harrison Ford, why is movie so boring? If I had aliens and cowboys and Harrison Ford, I wouldn't be boring.
See, here's where you're wrong. Never mind. Actually,
that was really funny.
I'm gonna shut my mouth.
John, I really appreciated that, and it was very funny.
Fuck you! Fuck your ass to space and hell. All right, I don't want to hear one more fucking word out of your goddamn mouth, Lincoln. I don't want to hear your pandering bullshit about whether or not you liked what I had to say about my notes. Okay, I'm fine. I'm feel strongly about who I am as a person. I don't need your appreciation to feel good about myself, okay? So send your thoughts right back to kindergarten where they belong, with the idiot dumb kids in class.
John, me and Lincoln both very much appreciate you sharing your notes with us and allowing
Fuck
us
you,
into our
Preston,
circle
to
of
space and
friends.
hell also. Fuck you. All of my podcast co-hosts can go straight to hell forever and ever and ever, and I will not be sad about it because I don't deserve this kind of treatment. I'm going to choose a new podcast co-host. I need new people to do a podcast with because you're all the fucking worst. I lay my life down on the line for you sons of bitches. I give you Find Your Funnies. Do you ever bring your Find Your Funnies? Not fucking once, Preston. Maybe twice, Lincoln. I bring all the Find Your Funnies. And I work hard for this family, okay?
Wait,
and if you don't
John,
appreciate what I'm doing to bring home the bacon for this fucking
can
family,
you tell us-
you
can
can
you
go
tell us-
live on the
tell us-
street,
tell us-
Preston.
Tell us what finds your funny you brought us today that took so much work. What was the title again?
Lincoln, I brought you Sesame Street characters and Muppets that say the word fuck. It was a tier list that I didn't make. Okay?
You literally just Googled the list of characters
Straight
and just scanned
to
down the line.
hell. I'll drive you there. To hell. To the gates.
Yeah, come on, Lincoln. It's not like he gave us, such
John,
nasty
you too,
praises
Preston.
as
Hop
tomb truths
in
and a
my
lie.
Honda Odyssey. Hop in my fucking Honda Odyssey. We're going to hell, the whole family. Pack your bags, baby. Get snacks
Can we
for the
stop
trip
at
because
In-N-Out?
we're not stopping at a Circle K today, fuckers.
I need to pee.
You can't piss out the window. All right, we're going to hell. Nobody cares.
I wish I spent this weekend with Mom.
You can go. You can go spend your weekend with
fucking
Mom.
sucks,
Okay, I
John.
get Wednesdays, and you fucking know Wednesdays are McDonald's Wednesdays. You want to give that up or not?
No.
That's what I. That's
like
what I.
McDonald's
Hey,
Wednesdays.
hey, Lincoln. That's what I fucking thought.
Sorry, John. I'll be more respectful to the work that you do for this household.
Thank you.
I will not. I'm just going to be very upfront about that.
All right,
now.
Preston. It's cool. It's fine. Preston's out of the podcast. That's okay. We got people. We have people waiting in the wings. You have no idea. The people. I'm in New Zealand.
John-
There's funny people.
John,
fucking
you
left
have
and
no
right.
three
idea
siblings.
how long I've been waiting for you to say that.
Was this all your plot, Preston, to make us watch the most mediocre, unfit for this podcast movie you could possibly think of?
I know, it really was, and Lincoln, you really played right into my hand by pointing out one of John's apparently soft spots for him just to start going off at us.
Soft spots.
So
Yeah, I'll
John,
say.
do share what were the good notes besides that one?
No, I'm not gonna share what the good notes are. I'm not your fucking dance monkey. You say a funny thing. That's what I
Madam
thought.
Web.
No, it's pretty funny. It was a bad movie. Did we do it?
Okay,
Is
John,
there anything else you guys
we
want to
did
talk
it.
about? I think we're good, right?
No,
Equivalent punishment?
we're at equivalent punishment. This is an
movie
equivalent
is the
punishment to
cinematic
eating a whole box
equivalent.
of Triscuits.
Say it again, because I talked over you.
Eating a whole box of Triscuits is the cinematic equivalent to this old one.
Okay, so say it like a human would, though, so that I can get a clean cut, so that I don't have to edit that to hell.
You don't have to snip it like a magazine cover, paste it
Yeah,
back where it's
so it
supposed to
doesn't
go.
look like a serial killer wrote it.
This movie is the equivalent. Wait, what am I trying to say? This movie is a cinematic equivalent to eating an entire box of Triscuits.
This movie is the cinematic equivalent of dropping an ice cube on the ground because it's disappointing
And then
because you
kicking it
dropped
under the
something,
fridge.
but it's also an ice cube, so it's just gonna melt.
And then you slip on it later and die.
Crack all your bones in half.
This is a cinematic equivalent to being put on stage for a show that you have never rehearsed before and you don't know any of your lines and they're just asking you to go with it.
The This is a cinematic equivalent to like a dream that was scary in the moment, and then you explain it, and somebody was like, "Wow, that sounds like a terrible nightmare," and you're like, "Well, I mean, it wasn't. It was fine. It was all right."
Boy, this is a difficult movie to make a podcast about.
This is a toughin'. This is a roughin' and a toughin'. You know what? This is the cinematic equivalent of the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters. That's what this is. This is just nothing that they pretend is something, and then the new one comes out, and you go, "Oh, is Spider-Man going to be in this one?" And they go, "Maybe," and then you go, and he's not.
Yeah, this is equivalent to any movie that doesn't have Spider-Man in it.
Fool me once, Oppenheimer.
Okay, Preston, take us out of this. Oh no, John, you got to take us out of this dark, terrible curse that we've put upon ourselves.
Actually, you know what? This is new. We can kind of decide communally. How's that sound?
Okay.
I'm gonna let you boys vote. Do you want something that is so down in our wheelhouse, down the alley, perfect strike, our movie, or do you want something completely different that we haven't really touched on that's just interesting and maybe fun to talk about?
I kind of want to explore. I don't know. After this, I'm kind of want to rush to safety. How do you feel?
I know,
Preston?
but is that the danger? Is that us just giving in and being weak?
Okay, well, here's what I know. I know. Yeah. Okay. Because I know the movie I'm choosing for the next time is the most our podcast movie that has ever been made, and I am so surprised that we haven't talked about it yet.
Okay. All right. So we know that there's an island of safety coming.
Yes. So let's go for the wild card.
Let's go wild card. We are going to be watching. There's 2 wild cards. We are going to be watching the film Anyone But You, starring Sydney Sweeney and whatever that
The
fucking
rom-com?
guy's. Yes, the rom-com, because it's one of the most subtly unhinged movies I've ever seen. And here's your homework. I watched Anyone But You on an aeroplane. I want you to tell me what wasn't in the movie in the aeroplane cut.
Oh, okay. Anyone but you. John, I
Yeah.
appreciate your contemporary. I think you're the only way that we watch movies that are that are less than 10 years old.
I try really hard, but also I know that if I made you go see Venom with me, it would be a real problem for our friendship. So, yeah.
So making us go
There you
see
go.
Madam Web. I saw Madam Web alone in a movie theater on Valentine's Day, and that was not that was not a bridge too far.
So did I, mon frere, and I'm
I
married.
think I did as well. If it wasn't on, no, I'd actually know it wasn't on Valentine's.
Okay. Anyways, yay! I can't
You guys
wait to
know,
watch
just-
Anyone But You.
Hold on.
I
Make
love
sure,
rom-coms.
John, make sure you take plenty of notes for
Wait.
us.
I'm going to take notes for you, you shit ass. Just a quick note. Just prepare your wallets and your brains because we are going to go see Kraven. I just need you to know that when that movie is coming out.
I know.
Kraven the Hunter. We're too deep in the paint on Venom. I'm not going to make you watch all 3 Venoms, Lincoln, because again, I know you haven't seen them. But I will definitely. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. Who takes us out?
Preston does.
Thank God.
He took us in.
This has been the Motion Picture Attribution Power Hour. I have been Brother Preston, Relax Body.
And I have been Brother Lincoln. I could crash you from here.
And I have been Brother the Deuce, John, and just as we live by the rules of Dinotopia, so must we be prepared to die.
Oh, thanks for sticking with us through this one.
Straight to hell with all of you.